Well, good afternoon everyone. Mike Potter here. As you would be aware, we're going into a 7-day lockdown as of 6 p.m. tonight. In regards to school, we wanted to get out to you some information as soon as possible so that you're aware of what's going to be happening over the next few days. First of all, Tyndale will be closed as of this afternoon. That means for both the staff who have been here on the pickle-free days for yesterday and today, but also any families, students and contractors. The school will be closed down, which has been the direction given by the government. Therefore, there will be no school tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. We believe that that will cover the 7-day lockdown, but we will confirm those things as we go along. But please understand, there's no school this week, and hopefully this lockdown will do what it needs to do, and we'll all be able to get back to school the middle of next week. In regards to essential workers and their children, we will provide a skeleton staff, as is required by schools across the state, for those families who have absolutely no other option. And I want to stress that. It must be where, if there are partners looking after the children, it needs to be that both partners will need to be essential workers before we would look after the children. If it's a single parent family and there's an essential worker, then of course we would take the children there, if there are absolutely no other options. So my strong encouragement to you and request of you is that you do everything possible to find alternative arrangements for your children in terms of their care over the next few days, rather than sending them to school if you are an essential worker. And I know that they're going to be defining exactly what that means in regards to all the categories of essential workers, but it's clear that they're going to be far more restrictive about that. So for instance, construction workers who were listed as essential workers in our last iteration of this last year are not listed as essential workers, and construction sites will be closed down. So it's going to be a very limited group of people who will qualify for essential workers this time. If you do fall into that category, and if you have absolutely no other option available to you, then we will provide a service for you. You will need to fill out a form which will be provided to you, which you can fill in and send back to us so that we have your children registered with us. And once we know the number of children that may well need to be cared for, then we will set up the arrangements here at our 3 sites. So this is for all 3 schools. Please ensure that you fill in that form. Do not just turn up with your children tomorrow and expect us to look after them. You do need to provide us with some information that you will be requiring this service and the reasons why you need that. Thirdly, learning opportunities. We are just coming off the back of a 2-week break, which means our staff, especially our teaching staff, have not been at school. And while they will have prepared lessons over the holidays, they certainly would not have been preparing online lessons. They would not have been in a situation where we'd have had them all here today, where they could continue to work on these things. And while the Premier has said that we should be looking at a pupil-free day tomorrow where staff work on delivering an online program, our staff tomorrow are not going to be here at school. They will be locked down like the rest of the state, and so therefore our teaching staff are going to have to do this remotely. Now, we believe that there will be some things which we will be able to provide for Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. But please understand, it's going to look nothing like face-to-face teaching, and it will not be like where we had 72 hours last time to throw together a online learning experience for all of your children. We will do the very best we can, and it'll look different from one campus to another. So the senior school, secondary school students across all 3 sites, there will be greater capacity through their laptops and going onto Canvas for information to be able to put up there, for assignments to be put up, for worksheets to be put up. It's going to be far more difficult for our younger children, And so please don't expect a similar experience across the different age categories, but you know our staff will do absolutely everything they can to be able to provide your children with as much as they can through the various platforms that we run here at the school. Each of the campuses, so when I talk about campuses, it's both Strath, Murray Bridge, junior school, middle school, senior school at Salisbury East. They will be in contact with you once they have met with their senior teaching staff to work out exactly what we're going to be able to provide. They will be contacting you directly, so please look out for that email. Now, there's one group of families who I know will be especially concerned about this lockdown, and they are the new families who are going to be starting with us tomorrow. Well, obviously that's now been delayed for a week, and some of you will not have the same amount of access to learning opportunities as our other students. We will be contacting you directly, and we will be making sure that we put things into place as much as we can to be able to provide your children with at least a bit of an introduction to the school. And we are hopeful that we'll be back at school next Wednesday, and they'll be able to then get on with their adventure here at Tyndale and start learning with the rest of their cohort. 5, we understand that there will be families who will be affected financially by this lockdown. Our strong recommendation to you is that you look to the government, both the federal and state government, because they have indicated that there will be financial support for those who are losing hours of work. And so if you are affected by that, our strong recommendation is that is the first place that you go to look at. However, we understand that there will be some who are affected, and that may affect their ability to be able to pay fees at this time. So for instance, you may well have a direct debit coming out later this week, and you may be looking at how you're going to manage this next few days. Please contact us as soon as possible if you believe that you're going to find this a bit difficult over the next few days to meet any financial commitment you have with the school. We will work with you as best as possible to support you during this time. We believe that our demonstration last year in regards to supporting families that we went through that circumstance last year with JobKeeper and Job Seeker and trying to provide a COVID support fund and all those sorts of things, that our school will continue to do that for our families. But it's really important that you work with government authorities first, and then if there is a concern, if there's a requirement to delay a payment and those sorts of things, then please contact us directly and we will work with you. Now, there isn't going to be anybody on the end of the phone after 6 p.m. this afternoon. So therefore, if you do need to contact us, we will be monitoring emails. The finance department will be monitoring emails, and so we strongly encourage you to send us an email and get in contact with us, and then we will respond to you as soon as possible. If you have any more questions about that, send that through to the finance departments at all 3 schools, and I'm sure they'll be able to work with you. Finally, really important that you keep up to date with us, and you can do that through our school Facebook site, through our websites, through our school YouTube, the things that we put up there, and also through email. So please make sure that you keep checking these things and that you are aware of what we're trying to do to manage this situation. Finally, I want to pray that you are all remaining safe, that none of you have been affected by the outbreak that's occurred in the state, and that you are able to bunker down with your families, just as I will be doing over the next few days. You'll look after each other, and that we'll all be able to get back together next Wednesday with this virus under control as much as possible, and we can start getting on with doing Tyndale as we always do. God bless you. I hope to be in touch with you soon.